Golf can be elegance, precision, and patience, but it can also turn into a scene of absolute madness. Impossible shots, bounces that defy logic, and moments so unlikely that even if you watched golf every day of your life, you would never witness them again. Today, we will relive 15 what-the-fuck moments in golf instants that made history for being strange, shocking, and unforgettable. And we begin with number 15. An event so rare it feels like a magic trick. Except it happened during a professional competition. Number 15. Double miracle. Third round of the 2008 BMW Championship. On the tee of the par 4 7th hole, Bubba Watson and Billy Mayfair walked together down the fairway after two solid tee shots. Nothing unusual. Two professionals in good position, ready to go for birdie. Bubba plays first. His swing is smooth, the ball launches perfectly and starts heading straight for the flagstick. One bounce, a small roll, and straight into the bottom of the hole. Eagle. The crowd erupts in applause, and Bubba smiles with satisfaction. But while the stands are still shaking, Mayfair is already ready to hit. His ball lands short of the green, begins rolling gently, and incredibly, also disappears into the cup. Two professionals, two consecutive shots, two eagles on the same hole. In less than a minute, what had been an ordinary par 4 turned into one of the most unlikely and memorable episodes in golf history. And what comes at number 14 proves that, in this sport, the line between total frustration and glory can shift in a matter of seconds. Number 14. From disaster to glory in 2 holes. Golf can be a carousel that changes in seconds, and Hayden Buckley lived it firsthand at the 2024 3M Open at TPC Twin Cities. He arrives at the 16th hole, a tricky par 4, with the ball resting on the edge of the penalty area. At his feet, delicate ground, and just a few centimeters away, a red stake marking the water hazard. He strikes with confidence. The sound is clean, but the outcome cruel. The ball rebounds directly off the stake, changes direction, and ends up sunk in the lake. Double bogey. His reaction is immediate. He grabs the stake and throws it in anger. An ugly scene, unworthy of a player in control. But golf always hides unexpected twists. On the next hole, a 178-yard par 3, Buckley takes the iron again. This time, perfect contact. The ball flies straight, lands on the green, takes one bounce, and disappears into the hole. Hole in one. In just 2 holes, he went from absolute despair to complete redemption. A contrast so dramatic, it turned a forgettable week into one of the most talked about stories of the season. Because in golf, the line between disaster and glory can vanish with a single swing. Number 13. The Impossible Odds. 2022. Genesis Scottish Open at the Renaissance Club. Will Zalatoris is just off the green of the par 3 16th hole. A routine situation. A delicate chip. Nothing he hasn't executed 1,000 times. He prepares, visualizes the line, and strikes softly. The ball lands gently, rolls toward the hole, and for a moment it seems it will drop, but it stops on the edge. A collective sigh of disappointment. However, the story is only beginning. The ball keeps rolling, passes beyond the hole, hits the flagstick, and instead of stopping it, bounces and continues moving, as if it had a different destination. And then the impossible happens. It comes to rest perfectly, on top of Matt Fitzpatrick's ball marker. The scene is so surreal, it looks like a trick shot exhibition. Zalatoris can't believe it. Fitzpatrick laughs in disbelief. The caddies pull out their phones, and the crowd watches stunned. It's the kind of play you could try to recreate your whole life without achieving it even once. But live on television, Zalatoris made it real. Number 12. The Rebirth of a Champion. Sunday at Augusta, 2019. The atmosphere at the Masters is tense, almost electric. Everyone senses something big is coming, but no one imagines how big. Tiger Woods, at 43 years old, walks toward the tee of the 16th hole, a par 3 just 2 flags away from glory. He leads by 1 shot, but the battle is far from over. He chooses an 8-iron. His stance is calm, without theatrics. only that steady composure that always defined him. The swing is pure. The ball takes off, aiming to the right of the flag, and lands on the slope. Augusta collectively holds its breath. The ball starts rolling slowly, as if guided by the course itself, until it stops less than a meter from the hole. The crowd erupts, but Tiger barely reacts. He simply nods, as if confirming that the impossible had already been written. That birdie puts him 2 shots ahead with only 2 holes to play. On 17, he secures par. On 18, he plays smart, avoids risk, hits the green, and seals another easy par. Seconds later, history becomes official. Tiger Woods wins his 5th green jacket, his first major in 11 years. That shot on 16 wasn't just technical brilliance. It was the moment when Augusta and the entire world understood that the comeback was complete. Number 11. The hole that betrayed him. 2022 British Masters at the Belfry. Final round. Rasmus Højgaard stands on the 16th hole, a par 4 where everything seems under control. After a solid tee shot, he faces 120 yards to the pin. A perfect chance to attack. The Dane doesn't hesitate. He goes straight at the flag. The strike is flawless, the ball flies like a missile, and it slams directly into the hole. A perfect slam dunk. The crowd freezes, convinced they've just witnessed one of the shots of the year. But then, the unthinkable. The ball hits the back of the cup, bounces violently as if the hole rejected it, and rolls off the green into the rough. Højgaard stands frozen, staring at the hole as if it had betrayed him. The crowd can't believe it. Commentators hold their heads in disbelief. In seconds, he went from having the shot of the day to fighting just to save par. A harsh reminder that in golf, you can chase perfection your entire life and still not receive the reward. Number 10. From water to miracle. 2022 Dutch Open at Bernardus Golf Club. Adrien Sadier faces a situation most players would handle with resignation. His ball is half submerged in the water, barely visible above the surface. Almost anyone would have taken the penalty and moved on. But not Adrien. He removes his shoes, sets his socks aside, and steps into the hazard as if preparing to fight the ball. Adrien steadies himself, slightly opens the club face, and swings. Water explodes everywhere, and, against all logic, the ball pops out, flies cleanly onto the green, and stops in a playable position. The crowd goes wild. But there's still one more challenge. A nearly 15-meter putt to save par. It's long, with a tricky break. Adrien breathes, strikes the ball, and it rolls with surgical precision until it disappears into the center of the hole. From a seemingly impossible hazard to a perfect save in just 2 shots. A display of bravery, creativity, and total determination. One of those moments that show why golf can be as unpredictable as it is glorious. Number 9. The jump that changed the championship. The Players' Championship. 1,987. Jeff Sluman stands over the most important putt of his life. 6 feet for birdie on the iconic island green of the 17th hole, during the second playoff hole against Sandy Lyle. If it drops, he wins the title. Silence is absolute. The tension unbearable. Sluman sets up, adjusts the putter, and at that exact moment, splash! A spectator suddenly jumps into the water surrounding the green. Chaos erupts. People scream. Officials run. And play stops while the soaked intruder is rescued. No one knows why he did it. Was he celebrating early? Seeking attention? Losing a bet? It will forever remain a mystery. When everything finally calms down, Sluman tries to reset. He focuses again on the ball, executes the putt, and misses. Would he have made it without the interruption? Did that absurd jump break his concentration? A mystery with no answer. What is certain is that on the 18th hole, Lyle made par, Sluman made bogey, and the title slipped through his fingers. One of the strangest endings in the history of the Players, decided not only by the golfer's skill, but also by an overly enthusiastic and soaked spectator. Number 8. The Endless Bunker. 2025 American Express in the California desert. William Mao, a rookie fresh out of college, He's playing the second round of his PGA Tour debut season. He's playing solid golf, 6 under par, right on the projected cut line. A good finish would give him experience, confidence, and a weekend paycheck. The 16th hole, a par 5 perfect for long hitters, seems like the ideal opportunity. His drive is powerful and precise. Ball in the center of the fairway, 275 yards from the green. Mao decides to go for it in two. Fate, however, sends him straight into the infamous San Andreas Fault bunker, a sand trap more than 5 meters deep. Tough, but not impossible. His first attempt flies over the green. The chip back rolls too far and returns to the bunker. He tries again, and again the ball ends up in the same place. A vicious cycle begins. From bunker to rough. From rough back to bunker. With no escape. The ordeal lasts 15 minutes and ends with a brutal outcome. 13 strokes on a single hole. An octuple bogey that destroys his card and knocks him out of the tournament. In just a couple of holes, Mao went from being in control of his destiny to packing his bags to head home. A rookie nightmare that proves that in golf, sometimes the most fearsome opponent is the sand. Number 7. 1 meter from glory. WM Phoenix. Open 2022, the loudest and most vibrant tournament in golf. More than 200,000 fans turned TPC Scottsdale into a real stadium, with the famous 16th hole as the epicenter of the madness. But this time, all eyes focused on the par 4 17th hole, a short, drivable hole loaded with risk. Sahith Theegala, a 24-year-old rookie with an unorthodox swing and magnetic personality, surprises everyone by leading down the stretch. A solid hole and a calm par on 18 would give him his first PGA Tour win. His drive on 17 is perfect. A beautiful fade that seems destined to leave him an eagle chance. The crowd holds its breath until the ball takes a bad bounce on the green and rolls relentlessly left, straight into the water. After the penalty, Theegala faces a tough chip under suffocating pressure. He hits it too hard, misses the return putt, and records a devastating bogey. That mistake opens the door for Scottie Scheffler, who takes the opportunity and wins the title. Theegala, meanwhile, walks away tied for third. 1 meter just 12 inches was all that separated a charismatic rookie from an unforgettable victory, and from one of the most painful disappointments of his young career. Number 6. The cruelest hole-in-one. 2013 World Cup of Golf in Melbourne, Australia. Stuart Manley, from Wales, ranked 346th in the world, steps onto the tee of the par 3 third hole during the third round. His shot is perfect. The ball flies straight, lands softly, and rolls until it disappears into the hole. Hole-in-one. The crowd explodes and Manley bursts with joy. He jumps, shouts, and celebrates as if he had won the lottery. And with reason. Right behind the tee sat a brand new Mercedes-Benz, the prize for any player who made an ace. But then, the devastating news arrives. The prize was only awarded for hole-in-ones made during the final round, not the third. His perfect moment was recorded in history, but without the car. In seconds, euphoria turned into a mix of disbelief and disappointment. Manley earned worldwide fame, yes, but also became the face of one of the cruelest twists golf can deliver, celebrating a prize that would never come. Number 5. The putt that would haunt him forever. 1970 Open Championship at St Andrews, the home of golf. Doug Sanders, a player with 20 PGA Tour wins and a style as bold in his wardrobe as in his game, stood in front of the opportunity he had chased his entire career to finally win a major. On the 18th green, he needed only to hole a putt of barely 1 meter to defeat none other than Jack Nicklaus and lift the prized claret jug. He had just hit a great putt from 9 meters that left the ball perfectly set up. But then the routine breaks. Sanders notices something on his line. A speck of dirt, a small tuft of grass. Instead of resetting, he awkwardly bends over to remove it without changing his stance. That tiny distraction was enough. He hits the putt too quickly, and the ball slips out on the right side. The image of Sanders leaning forward, almost trying to guide the ball into the hole with his body, became one of the most tragic snapshots in golf. The next day, he lost the playoff to Nicklaus. He would never win a major again. That put so short and so cruel became the shadow that followed him for the rest of his career. Number 4. The Masters lost before it even began. Augusta, 2017. Dustin Johnson arrives at the Masters as the man to beat. He has won his previous 3 tournaments. He is the world number 1. And everyone points to him as the clear favorite to wear the green jacket. His game is at its peak. Crushing drives, sharp irons, reliable putting, everything set for a victory that seemed unavoidable. After a flawless practice round, Johnson returns to his rented house near the course. The night is calm, light dinner, rest, and mental preparation for the big day. But in an instant, everything collapses. While trying to move his car in the garage, he walks down a small set of stairs wearing socks. He slips. He believes he can handle it. The next morning, he appears on the practice range, trying a few swings. The pain is obvious. The tee time for hole 1 gets closer, but Johnson never makes it. He decides to withdraw without being able to hit a single shot. The overwhelming favorite for the Masters becomes a spectator because of a ridiculous household accident. A staircase, a pair of socks, and a slip. A chance at glory lost before it even started. Number 3. The Innisbrook Geyser. 2025 Valspar Championship on the iconic Copperhead course at Innisbrook, Florida. Adam Hadwin, Canadian and former champion of the same tournament, reaches the 10th hole in the middle of the second round. His score keeps him near the cut line, on a course where even making par feels like a win. Hadwin hits a solid tee shot, but his second shot drifts slightly offline. Nothing disastrous, just a small mistake. Frustrated, he releases tension the way many golfers do, by striking the ground with his club. But that day, the turf hit a surprise. The iron doesn't hit only dirt, it hits a buried sprinkler head. The result? A sudden burst. A column of pressurized water shoots up like a geyser in the middle of the fairway, soaking Hadwin, his playing partners, and the spectators watching in disbelief. While he tries, unsuccessfully, to stop the stream, maintenance staff has to step in to fix the problem. As if the public embarrassment wasn't enough, Hadwin finishes the hole with a double bogey and eventually misses the cut. A reminder that in golf, even a simple act of frustration can turn into a chaotic and very wet spectacle. Number 2. The Cursed Bunker. 2003 British Open. Royal Street, Georges. Thomas Bjørn, the calm Dane, is on the verge of making history. 3-shot lead with 4 holes to play. After a week of brilliant golf, taming the wind and the unpredictable bounces of links terrain, the trophy is practically in his hands. The claret jug already seems to have his name on it. But on the 16th hole, a seemingly routine par 3, everything changes. His ball lands in the bunker next to the green. Nothing dramatic, until he attempts the escape. The shot doesn't clear the lip, and the ball rolls right back to his feet. The crowd groans, but Bjørn stays calm. No problem. I'll try again. Second attempt. Same story. The ball comes back toward him, as if the sand were mocking him. A murmur of disbelief spreads among the spectators. Finally, on his 3rd shot he gets out, but the damage is done. Double bogey, and the lead evaporates. The psychological blow is devastating. On the 17th, he adds another bogey, and suddenly, what seemed like a coronation turns into collapse. The one who benefits, Ben Curtis, ranked 396th in the world, debuting in a major, so convinced he wouldn't win that he had already booked his flight home before the round ended. Against all odds, he becomes champion. Meanwhile, Bjørn is left marked by the memory of the Cursed Bunker, one of the cruelest nightmares in the history of the Open. Number 1. The perfect shot that turned into a nightmare. 2013 Masters at Augusta. Second round. Tiger Woods is in top form and fully in contention, climbing the leaderboard steadily. He arrives at the iconic par 5 15th hole, a place designed for spectacle, birdies and even eagles within reach of the best players. His 3rd shot is an exquisite wedge, delicate, landing softly and rolling with just the right speed toward the flag. The crowd rises, anticipating magic. The ball heads straight, until the unthinkable happens. It hits the flagstick squarely. A perfect shot turned into tragedy. Instead of stopping close to the hole, it ricochets violently, rolls off the green, and ends up in the water. But the worst is yet to come. After dropping, Tiger places the ball just a few steps behind the original mark. A tiny difference, almost imperceptible. What should have been a birdie becomes a triple bogey. From potentially leading the tournament, he falls 5 shots back. He would ultimately finish 4 shots behind the champion Adam Scott. That flagstick and that penalty may have cost him his 5th green jacket. Golf is a sport of precision, yes, but also of chaos, luck, and moments that feel like they were written by a whimsical storyteller. From impossible bounces to unforgettable collapses, these 15 moments remind us that in this game, the only certainty is that nothing is guaranteed. Thanks for joining us in this look back at the craziest moments in golf history. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and leave a comment telling us which of these moments surprised you the most, or if you remember another one that deserves a spot on the list. Because in golf, the next historic moment of madness might happen on the very next swing.